actually making things a little bit more positive. Often in the rap community, when things like this happen, when things like the death of XX Tentacion, when things like that happen, a lot of rappers break down their barriers and they tell people, okay, so for example, after this homicide happened, a lot of these rappers came out on their Instagrams like, all jokes aside, everything aside, like, this is not cool. Like, didn't matter who it was. The Game, Chris Brown, some of these rappers that are on World Star, everybody was making messages about how the violence wasn't cool because now a life has been taken. You can't play around with that. But the thing that's scary about that is, even though there's positivity stemming from it, and not only from this particular death but from other incidences, that's why J. Cole is making the music that he does. That's why Meek Mill is making the music that he's making about, not killing each other but uplifting each other and kind of like reinventing ourselves as Black people. Like, yes, that's happening, but it just sucks that it takes something that extreme to set off a movement like that. So I think that's where the dangerous part lies, because it's like, yes, there is positivity that's coming from it, but at the same time, eventually this will die down, and it's almost like it takes something as extreme as a death or something like that to cause something like this. So, it kind of is one of those things where it's like flipping a coin. Like, will it land on the side where now we're going to enter into a movement where we're going to try to stray away from that? Or are people going to put out RIPs and do public service announcements and then go back to that until somebody bigger, gets affected from it? But, a trend that I have been seeing in the rap community is, after things like this have happened, people have kind of eased off of it. For example, there was another rapper, I can't really remember the name right now, but off the top of my head, but he died from overdosing on Xanax. And after that, you had all kinds of rappers saying, nope, Xanax isn't cool anymore, throwing out my Xanax. And not only Xanax, but lean. And a lot of rappers still sip lean, but actually, since that incident has happened, you've heard less songs about it coming from those rappers, because it's like, oh shoot, like one of my homeboys really got taken out by that. So now I'm going to start making songs about not doing that. Because you have to remember, like, the rap community is exactly what I just said, a community. Yeah. So if a member of their community suffers like this, they're going to be like, wow, like, I was doing the same thing he was doing and he just got his life taken. So maybe I should start making my music stray away from that. So I think that is one of the positive things that can come from this, and that probably will come from this, but time will tell.
Yeah. Well, you all have raised some great points, and I just want to remind everyone, you can call in to us at 702-455-7789. That's 702-455-7789. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the discussion that we're having today. And Pastor C, you mentioned something earlier, and I just wanted to come back to, and that is the overall senselessness of what you've been seeing in the street. And I guess what most people wonder is, what can we do to sort of put some things out there that would make the average young person say, you know what, love the music, but I don't want any parts of the reality of it?
I'm glad you asked that, because even as a senior pastor, I'm trying to come up with ways and creativity to be able to reach a generation that is so consumed with not only the culture, not only the banging beat, as they say, but also the lyrics. And it's kind of hard to intercept and interrupt what they're hearing if you don't have something that they view as equally valuable. And I listen to some of the rap that my sons listen to, and they do have great beats and stuff like that. But when you hear the words, it is very, it's gross offensive to me because number one, I have daughters. Number two, I have a wife. And number three, I am anti-drugs and violence. And so when you hear this stuff and your young people are listening to it, there's one or two things that's going to happen. Number one, either they're going to keep it in the realm of entertainment, or number two, it's going to influence them in some type of way where they are behaving as the lyrics are commanding them to do. Now, there's a spiritual principle that I'll talk about later and just kind of give a little piece of a biblical principle that I believe will help us. But the main thing is this: young people got to understand the difference between entertainment and reality.
Yes.
Some of these cats are not living the life that they're rapping about
At all.
And so to me, once I understand that you are a phony and a fake, I don't want no parts of you. And so I will keep you in the realm of entertainment. But young people, I believe, with immaturity and other things, they do not decipher between reality and entertainment.
Yeah.
And when you get so caught up in entertainment and you're driven by entertainment, it's going to take something stronger than what's intriguing you to get you to turn from what you feel is important.
Yep.
I like rap, but I know as a mature man that it's nothing but entertainment. I can
Right.
bob my head, I can, shake my torso or whatever, but after that, I have to live life. The problem that I see today, Chief, is that a lot of individuals are integrating entertainment and reality, and they are literally trying to live what individuals are rapping about, but the narratives are fiction.
Right. I would agree.
And I think that's a very important piece, because separating the reality from the fiction is where we are really having the biggest problem. For example, I agree with you, Pastor C. I've been known to cut the volume up a little bit when certain songs come on, and I'm just sitting there bobbing my head because the beats are really, really nice.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Bangers.
Right. They're really nice beats, and it takes you back to the old house music
Absolutely.
in Chicago and the Odell's days back in Baltimore. You know what I mean? So you're sitting there reliving your youth. But when you listen to some of the lyrics, and even the lyrics are catchy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just describing conflict and shooting and running and hiding and all those things. Very catchy. But we have the ability, the three of us sitting here, to say, wow, that's really catchy, but I know that's not anything that I want to be a part of.
Right.
And the concern, I think, among the rest of the world is, how do we get that message across? Enjoy the music. The music is fantastic. The beats are fantastic. The lyrics are very complicated and very complex, but enjoy it, but don't try to live it.
Well, because
That's good.
I think a lot of that responsibility lies on the artist.
It does. The entertainer.
And not only the entertainer, but the people driving the entertainer. Because if you look at what an entertainer does when they portray these lifestyle choices, it's not only, their lyrics and their videos, but like I said before, they are on social media actively saying things that supports whatever they're portraying, because they are an image. So whatever they speak, do, eat, their movements all have to support this image that they're abstaining.
But it's a business.
It is, exactly.
And do you really think, okay,
exactly.
I'm Little Chief Man, and I'm putting out my record. I want to throw you back in jail.
Right.
Do you really think that I'm going to take a minute and say, this is just fiction, boys and girls?
No.
Absolutely not.
That's
Absolutely
not going to
not.
happen.
Absolutely.
So that's why I'm saying it's up to the artist to then kind of, I'm not gonna say change their image, but they really do have to find some type of way to tell people that, okay, I'm glad you're entertained, because this is all a show. This is an image, because it's almost, I'm not gonna say impossible, but it's just very hard these days to do that, because a lot of a part of being a celebrity nowadays is having the full package, because it's just like Pastor C said, people link into what you're doing every day. It used to be that if you liked a celebrity, you'd have to listen out for little pieces of news about them. Now you can actively see what they're doing at all times of the day.
But
and if they're trying to portray this image all times of the day, people are going to believe that that's the life that they live.
But it's the image that sells.
Right.
It's the image that's making your album go triple, quadruple platinum,
Absolutely.
and all that stuff. So why would I change my image and hurt my bottom line? And I'm only selling 450 million albums versus 900 million.
I listen, and I'm going to say this. It's a narrative issue too, because people want to sell the story, and if there is an inkling of an idea that what is being rapped about or sang about is true, it creates an interest in the individual. One of the things that was mind-boggling to me was when Usher came out with his album about Confessions.
Oh yeah, that was juice.
It was some tea.
Yeah.
You know? There was some tea involved, and so people went out and bought it. Why? Because they want to know what's going on in that man's life.
Yep.
Individuals are attracted to the narrative, and if you make them feel that they are a part of your process every single day process, that gives them more buy-in.
Yep.
And now they are not only a part of your songs, but they think that they are a part of your world.
Yep.
And Pastor C, let me correct myself. Our call-in number is 702-425-7789. So that's 702-425-7789. We'd love to hear from you. But anyway, to get back into
no wonder people not.
I'm 735 years old, and I'm allowed to make a mistake. So
it's all good.
That's what I'm crediting that to. And I'm 736. I'm gonna make some more mistakes. Is there a problem?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, that was my millennial comment for the day.
Don't make me go old school and go to the woodshed.
Me done. No, but I think that when you create a narrative, a story, people are intrigued by that, and they want to follow it. They want to know how it began, your process in it, and everybody's going to be standing around waiting on the conclusion.
Yes.
And that's what happens in entertainment. The problem is the audience that follows them lack maturity.
Yes.
And they do not know how to separate entertainment and work from reality and how an individual lives.
I agree.
Okay, and so some of the rappers or whatever, they're doing the same thing. They're not going to the booth rapping as if it's only a job.
Right.
They're
selling it. They're actors.
Exactly.
They're actors.
They're clothing this though as if it's their life.
Yep.
And it's costing them their lives.
Absolutely.
I don't believe that in order for you to be a rapper and be successful, you have to rap about drugs, violence, and women like that.
You don't.
Listen, prime example. I believe Will Smith is one of the most successful rappers, and his career has taken him into movies, into producing, acting, and different things of that nature, and he's doing wonderfully well.
And he's from West Philly, so I'm sure he has some stories he could have told.
About the street.
Yes.
However, he chose another path. So I don't want to hear individuals cop out and say, well, that's what's selling. It is what's selling. But I think creativity, to me, true creativity comes when you can be original and authentic.
Absolutely.
And step outside of the norm and do something, to me, that is compelling, that is not derogatory, and you're still causing individuals to be entertained.
Right.
And it's not bringing a detrimental lifestyle to anybody else.
And I agree with you, because honestly, if I was a rapper, I would just look at longevity.
Yeah.
The people who last, the people like Jay-Z, Kanye, J. Cole, Meek Mill, names that have been around for years. These people have not faded out at all. They never rapped about, I mean, I'm not going to say never, but to the extent that we see now, they never